In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own ebook using the KDP Kindle Direct Publishing dashboard. Once you've set up your account, you'll be presented with a page like this where you see various tabs. You want to select the bookshelf one. As you've created a new account, you won't see any existing books like I've got, but you want to go create new title. This will take you to this free tabbed page. I'm going to take you through this tab on this video. First, you'll be given the option to enroll in the KDP Select scheme. This is a scheme which makes you limited that you can only release your ebook on the Amazon Kindle store. A lot of people suggest doing this. Personally, I would not suggest enrolling in on the KDP Select scheme. You do get some minor marketing advantages from doing this, and you will get more royalties in places like Japan, India, Brazil and Mexico as part of the scheme. But as things stand, I think you will lose more money from the lack of revenue from places like Apple and Kobo if you're looking to have a global reach in your marketing by going into KDP Select than not going into KDP Select. First thing you want to enter is your book title. So let's say begin self-publishing podcast workbook. Subtitle can be just a learn how to self-publish an ebook. If it's part of a series, you tick this box. This will say what the name of the series is. Great books about self-publishing. Volume number 1. Edition number, you can leave that blank. If you've already published the book and you want to make significant changes to it, for example, you're adding new chapters and that kind of thing, you probably want to update the edition number. I believe, I'm not entirely sure if this is the case, that if you update this to anything above 1, or if you update it, then people who have got that ebook on their Kindle device will be notified that there's a new version available. If you leave it the same, they won't. I believe that's what this does. But for most new publishers, you will never change the edition number. Publisher, if you want the name of your company or some other company to be down as a publisher, then put your name in here. So as I publish under my company name, I'll just put Stoneman Press Limited. Description is the book description that you'll see on the Amazon page. So go to amazon.co.uk. Kill a Mockingbird. So if we look at the Harper Lee classic, you can see that they put in this frankly quite shockingly bad book description, but that is what somebody at that publisher has pasted into here. So in our case, learn how to self-publish an ebook using the Kindle KDP service. Book contributors. You want to put your author name here. And put it as author. There are various other, if somebody's done significant work in terms of illustrating, or it's a translator, you probably want to add them as well. Save that. Language, for most of us who are not blessed with ability in languages, this will be English. ISBN. For ebooks, ISBNs are not needed. They are used for paper and print books as a way of identifying and classifying books, and also for generating the barcodes that people use to scan the books. The only advantage you really get for an ISBN number for an ebook is that it allows it to be tracked by services like Nielsen BookScan. so that if you think your book may sell an awful lot of copies and hence appear in a book chart, you will need an ISBN number for anybody to know about it. A lot of people in the publishing industry get quite upset when people don't use ISBN for ebooks. However, ISBNs are expensive. If you're trying to do a book that you think may sell eventually in large numbers, then you probably want to buy an ISBN number. But if you're just starting out, then you can leave this blank. Verify your publishing rights. Almost certainly want to have this option. This is not a public domain work. Categories. This is where you would pick what sort of book it is. This will pick the charts that your book will appear in on the Amazon display. So we go back to Harper Lee's example. You see that it's in contemporary fiction, literature. It's also in books, fiction, contemporary fiction. For this book about self-publishing, it'd be general, and then I'd take the time to look these up before you have to rush to do. Don't be in the situation like I am here, where you just pick random categories and go save. Make time to pick out the categories you're interested in before you start this process off. Age range. If your book is for young adults or is particularly adult related, then you can set those here. Same with US grade range. Search keywords has two purposes. You can either use this for keywords. So if we type begin self-publishing in here, you won't get my book because, well, it doesn't exist. You see there's a lot of twaddle here. If I put begin self-publishing in here as a phrase, then that boosts up my chance. It doesn't mean that I'm guaranteed to appear at the top of this list. If somebody typed this in exactly, given that there's probably not much competition for this phrase, I would probably most likely appear at the top. Similarly for self-publishing, suspect something like self-publishing, just putting it in there. Yeah, you see there's quite a significant number of books about self-publishing. So just putting it in there won't guarantee you'll get to the top, but it will at least boost you up a bit. Publishing. You might as well use as many of these as you can think of. Writing, book, eBook, KDP. You can use some or all of these to try and get yourself into other categories in Amazon. I don't know what they are for non-fiction, but there is a website. There is a link on the Kindle message boards where it actually tells you what keywords you can introduce in here. So, for example, the word sword. Well, if we take swords, we'll get you into the swords and fantasy section in the KDP store. I think dragon will take you into. There's a dragon section in fantasy. There's all sorts of specific words like that you can put in here, and they'll add you to extra categories. Obviously, they wouldn't be appropriate for this situation. It may be like there's the words "how-to" or something like that that will get you into this how-to section, which may exist. Book release option. If you select this, which most of you will want to, your book will be available immediately. If you make it pre-order, then this makes your book available for pre-order but not available immediately. You can use this section to upload a book cover, or you can use a cover creator. And get down to this section, you can either enable digital rights management, which will mean that your file can't be copied off a Kindle onto another device. The general consensus seems to be to not turn on digital rights management. It's really a personal choice. This is where you would click and you would select your Mobi file from your local machine. Takes a while to upload a file. Here's one I've uploaded a few seconds ago. Hopefully it will come through and say that the book's available. I haven't actually created a begin self-publishing maybe file, I just renamed an existing one. So don't be worried if this part takes a while. So eventually it will come through with this. It gives you the chance to do your online previewer or download preview the thing. And once you're happy with this and you've uploaded your cover image, which I haven't done yet, click save and continue. Then it takes you through to the next tab, which is rights and pricing. Unless you've happened to have bought a book or rights from some other publisher and they're not allowed in individual territories, you set this to worldwide territory rights. This is where you set the price in each country. Most of the time, unless your book's very cheap, you'll set 70% royalty. So you put $2.99. So $2.99 will give you 70% royalty, and it'll give you $2.06. You don't get 70% royalty in every country unless you enroll for the KDP Select scheme, but you will for the major ones like US, UK, Germany, Canada, and Australia. You see, it actually tells you must be in KDP Select to get 70% royalties in India. Thankfully, they've changed the way the pricing works. You used to have to enter, if you want to select an individual price in a different country, for example, you wanted to have a specific price in Italy, it used to add on VAT to your price, which was a real pain. So you'd enter $3.99 and then you find out the actual price on Amazon was down as $4.08 or something like that. Now if you set the price individually rather than basing it off the US price, for this particular example most of these prices are alright. I tend to change prices to have a more normal looking price. So for example, I changed the Japanese price to be $3.99 from C71. Similarly with the Brazilian one, I changed it to $9.99. The only issue is that if you change the dollar price, say you change this to $3.99, all those it's nicely converted into will be changed automatically. While those that you've changed manually, you'll have to change yourself. You see, for a $3.99 book, you don't necessarily want a UK price of $2.56. You want a price of $2.99. Just looks nicer. As you can see, in the old days, you would have had to add $2.49 in here, and it would have given you a price of $2.99. Now they've changed it, and this is it does show you the amount of royalty you'll get for the book. Once you've done that, it asks you if you want to be in the Kindle Matchbook scheme. This has no relevance unless you've got a paperback book version as well. What you can do is say how much, if they buy a paperback version of this book, how much is this book, how much can they buy this ebook for? So if you set this to 99 cents, they bought the paperback version of this book, then they were given the option of buying the ebook for 99 cents. The Kindle ebook scheme allows people to lend it to their friends and family for 14 days. I've never ever known anybody do Kindle book lending, but I'll just leave that at that. And the final stage would be, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to self-publish a completely bogus book, is you click this and then go save and publish. That is more or less all there is to it. I'm going to save as draft and go back to the bookshelf, and then I can delete it. Yes, the workbook is being deleted. And that is more or less how to self-publish an ebook using the Kindle Direct Publishing interface.